What's up, Leafs Nation? Welcome back to another game preview. My name's Zack Phillips, and today we're going to be taking a look at game number 70 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season as we get closer and closer every single day to the start of the playoffs. The period of time that Nick says is the only thing that matters this year because the 82 games, it's just take it, throw it out the window. He doesn't care about that. But, us here on the preview show and on the After Dark, we get a little bit more involved, get a little bit more emotional about how things go day to day. So today for our preview, as you can see in this hotel room in Nashville as we are going to the Preds game here tonight, we will be breaking down tonight's lineups, what we've got for starting goaltender, our power play, penalty kill, as well as our best bet. And it's all a presentation of Bet365. So let's start first and foremost by heading over to the Daily Faceoff page where we can see the line combinations for tonight's game. And if you're going to see this one here, we've got starting on your first line right now, you've got Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner. No changes there. I mean, this just feels like what you're going to roll into the playoffs with. You got your power forward over there with Matthew Knies. You got Matthews who can play alongside of him and cause some damage physically down low if he wants to play like he did against the Rangers or against the Avalanche or against the Flames and kind of just decides to turn it on that way. Then you're going to have that, and alongside Knies, you get two heavy physical forwards along with the playmaker and Mitch Marner. As long as these guys decide to show up and want to play like they're capable of playing, then, I mean, this should be, in theory, a line that could just take over games at any given moment. But sometimes, they just choose not to do that. So we'll see how it goes when you get to the playoffs. We'll see how it is here tonight against Nashville. Down to your second line, Bobby McMann, John Tavares, William Nylander. Now, I feel like this is one of those ones where McMahon is there for now. If he plays really, really well, then maybe they decide to keep him there throughout the remainder of the regular season, possibly there into the playoffs, game one. But I feel like this is a bit of a placeholder for Max Pacioretty coming back. I feel like Max Pacioretty might return game one of the playoffs kind of thing, and they might throw him back in there. We saw him have chemistry with Tavares, with Nylander. As long as he's able to keep up with the pace of play and everything, I don't see why Pacioretty wouldn't be able to fit. And the other reason that I think this is because when you look down to what's on the third line right now, Pontus Holmberg, Max Domi, and Nick Robertson, I think that's fine. And Pontus has been playing really, really well, and he's kind of deserved opportunities to jump up to the top six, getting spots on that third line. He's a guy that they put down to the fourth line when they need them going there. But I feel like Bobby McMann is better suited to be a driver for the third line than what you have with Holmberg or Pacioretty on that line. So if you can get McMann down to the third line, like, you don't need the driver in the second line. Pacioretty can just be a guy who can play his game, play that heavy physical hockey we saw him playing when he was kind of at the top of his game for this year earlier in the season, and it was alongside John Tavares and William Nylander. Like, you have Tavares, you have Nylander, those guys drive the play. You can put Pacioretty alongside there, you'll be okay, but if you put McMahon down to the third line in the Holmberg spot right now, then you get just an extra wave of attack in there. That would also then push Holmberg down to your fourth line, and I don't know, like, if he's going to play the way that he has over the last couple of weeks, Davy Camp's a guy that can sit in the press box. I think that's just kind of where we've gotten to with this, where it's like Berube's not in love with the player. You see him healthy scratch the last couple of games. He does draw back into the lineup the other night, but I don't think that there's like a necessity to have him in, and especially if Pontus is playing that way and if Pacioretty can come back. So these are your lines for tonight's game. Again, the one guy I'm going to kind of call here on to have a night is Scott Laughton. Yet to really see him show up here and make an impact on the game. Just like, he's not a guy who's going to show up and score a million goals and kind of take over games or whatever, but I want to see him leave his mark, and we haven't seen that yet. Through 7 games played, I mean, we're looking at Brandon Carlo, we're looking at all the blocked shots and what his plus minus is currently at, and his time on ice, and I don't even know, takeaways, all that kind of hits, all these stats that are just positive stats for Brandon Carlo right now. Expected goals share. Scott Laughton, 0 goals, 0 assists through 7 games. Like, this guy hasn't even had one be able to hit his ass, bounce to somebody else who's able to score at this point. Like, that's the kind of luck he's had through 7 games. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of that and the unluckiness just kind of plays into He just hasn't played his best games yet. We haven't seen it from him. So I want to see him start to step up. Tonight against the Preds would be a great night for him to do so. So those are your forward lines for tonight's game. If we do jump on down to the defense here on the Daily Faceoff page and what we have for our power play as well, just taking a look right now, no changes. Morgan Rielly, Brandon Carlo, pairing number 1, McCabe, Tanev, number 2, Benoit, OEL as number 3. Look, I think that this is how you're going to roll into game 1 of the playoffs. I think this is how you should roll into game 1 of the playoffs. I wouldn't change anything if I were the coaching staff here when it comes to the defense. I mean, the only guy still, and I'll say it again, Morgan Rielly. You would like to have him really step up and take over a game and really make an impact, start to create some offense. Hasn't really been here yet. Down to your power play units. First unit, again, with the 5-forward power play unit. Second unit there, you go with that kind of third line combo that we had seen, but obviously McMahon up to the second line right now. But McMahon, Domi, Robertson, OEL, and Morgan Rielly will be your second unit. Joseph Woll, projected. I mean, I imagine he's going to go, but projected to go here tonight against Nashville. I think at this point that makes sense. That's what you have set yourself up for. That is the rotation that you've put things in. Stolarz did play against the Rangers the other day. I thought he was really, really good, but I mean, just naturally, you're going to go back to Joseph Woll. I think that makes sense. So those are your lineups for tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's get in now to our best bet segment, which, I mean, we're talking about this Leafs team, and could Scott Lawton be better? Well, maybe we could be better on the best bets, considering we've lost the last two. Max Domi with the 0.2 units against the Avalanche on the anytime goal, and then William Nylander, full unit on that one, plus 200 against the Rangers. I mean, it felt like a night William Nylander was going to get on the board. It just doesn't happen for us. So let's get to our best bet here tonight and hopefully turn things in the right direction. Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. An official partner of the NHL, download the Bet365 app and use the code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N, all caps, to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Okay, best bet. As we always do, and now that we actually have our full setup here back, we can actually go to the Bet365 page, unlike the last show, which I appreciate everyone bearing with me on, as it was like the most bare bones show possible as we were trying to kind of got in late, try to rip the pregame video, make sure everybody had that one out. But today we can go over to the Bet365 page. We're going to go to the player props section, and we're going to stay at the top with shots on goal in the second tab there. And we're going to scroll down, and you see John Tavares in the 3+ section. That would be over 2.5 there as well. 3+ John Tavares, shots on goal, minus 120 here tonight. Honestly, one of the biggest reasons for this one is just its best price in market. You're looking at the Bet365 number there. It's better than anywhere else you're going to find this bet. So if you're not betting on Bet365 already, that's where you should be, because these bets that we're giving out, best price is at Bet365. It's basically a zero edge bet, but I think that there's a little bit for us to be able to find here on this one, just given it feels like McMahon's a guy who's going to be able to drive. JT and Nylander are going to be guys to shoot on that line. JT's also coming off of a hot game against the Rangers. And when Johnny T starts to get going, he can build it up into a couple where he can pull that out over a stretch. And all of a sudden you're looking at him and saying, wow, he was really good for those last 10. I feel like we could be seeing that for Tavares here right now, where it's just starting to build up as we head towards the playoffs. As we get to game 1, he's getting himself ready. He's heating up a little bit. Over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 120 is our best bet for tonight. $75 on this one. A 3/4 unit profits you $90. So that is our game preview here today. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe here to the channel, Leaf Station 401, right here on YouTube. I will be back for Leaf Station After Dark here tonight. I'm going to ask you guys to just bear with me a little bit. We're going to the Preds game here in Nashville as part of the Nation vacation. It's been an absolute blast. It's the last night that we're doing this here. We fly back home tomorrow, so you have all the normal shows and everything like that going forward. But tonight I will be at the Preds game. We'll be ripping back from the Preds game to get on here to do the stream. So may potentially be slightly late here starting, or later than usual at least, but I will be here and there will be a post-game show. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support as always. Look forward to seeing everyone tonight following the game against the Nashville Predators. Until then, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.